Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited as well. Today is February 24th, 2024, and tonight, this morning, whatever you want to say, was the WWE Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. The show itself, as far as the kickoff show does go, because there was a match on the kickoff show, so that counted as well. I did watch the kickoff show. That started at 3 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific. Basically, couldn't have timed this any better. Literally, the New Japan show ended and the kickoff show started for WWE. Couldn't have been any more perfect. But the show, again, like I stated, did start at 3 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific. I thought Elimination Chamber was a really good show. I enjoyed it. The tag title match between, well, actually both tag title matches. The women's tag title match on the pre-show was kind of a nothing match. It was more just to get Indy Hartwell on the show and then go from there and just get her a pop or whatever. And the men's tag title match, it was good. I wouldn't call it great or anything, but it was good and very, very solid. I really liked both chamber matches. I thought both chamber matches were really good. I thought the main event was a good match. Now, Nia, I don't know if this was because of the weather. It was hot and humid. She got really, really gassed and tired. And you could see her face was getting red. I think the humidity got to Nia Jax in that main event. And so we'll see. Even Nia was breathing heavy after the match and stuff. So, yeah. Good show overall, though. Even the stuff with Cody and Seth on the Grayson Waller show, that set up to where you might be getting a singles match between The Rock and Cody Rhodes, and that may not even be at WrestleMania. Who the hell knows? Maybe that's night one, and Cody works both nights, not Roman. I don't know. We got so much to talk about, and all the time in the world, because it's early. It's 7 a.m. on the West Coast, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the East Coast. It's a easy time to go. I've been awake for 24 hours now. 23. I woke up 8 a.m. yesterday. So I'm running on fumes. And yeah, great show, good show. And then at the end of this review, we're going to take your calls. You can call in at 510-906-1341. The number will be scrolling across the bottom of the screen down there. When we're done with the actual review, then we'll jump on and see if anybody wants to call in and give me their thoughts as well. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Remember, if you donate Twitch bits in the live chat, you can also put a comment. That makes sure that on Twitch, your comment, question, or concern does get read live on the air. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to head over to YouTube and do a couple things for us over there. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live and when we post things to the community tab. Hit the join button. That way you can become a channel member and support the channel that way. Or if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying something new like Skull and Bones, something older like Dead Island 2, or claiming the free game, Super Meat Boy Forever, put in this code right here. This code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Heck, you want to get into Lady Gaga in Fortnite Festival? Maybe you haven't checked out Lego Fortnite. They got a new fishing update that just dropped. If you're going to do it, you might want to use this code, PW Unlimited, PWUNLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Now, there's one thing I want to do before we actually get in to talking about the pay-per-view. I want to read you, because people are asked, where was Bronson Reed? Where was Bronson Reed? Well, Bronson Reed became a proud papa. And so I want to read to you his tweet tonight as to why he wasn't at the show, as to why he didn't travel to Australia. Bronson Reed did send out this tweet. Let's pull it up on the screen. States, full disclosure, originally I was set to be at WWE Chamber. It would have been an incredible moment. Unfortunately, plans changed, but everything happens for a reason. My wife and I have had our baby early. I was supposed to miss the PLE to make sure I'm here for my family. Thank you for all your support. To all my friends and family who have reached out, to Triple H for guiding me. Now, I'm not just big, I am Big Papa. Bronson Reed did end up having a baby. His wife was pregnant, and he was never going to actually go to the show. They wanted him for the show, but then they told him, it seems like, hey, no, you're going to stay with your family. Your wife's going to go into labor. You could be on another show another time. So we know WWE did great business there. We don't know if they're going to go back. They didn't announce anything as far as wanting to go back or say they are going back to Australia. So been since 2018, since the last one. Hopefully it's not that long till they go to the next, till they go back next time. But as far as the show does go, we were all up super early. Even Megan Morant, Peter Rosenberg, and Sam Roberts. They were all up early doing the pre-show at the studio in Stamford. So they're doing the pre-show, and they're just doing their normal thing, you know. Oop, I just moved something off the wrong screen. Give me one quick second, guys. They're doing their normal pre-show thing. And then they kick it to the building because, well, there was a match on the pre-show. This match got announced yesterday. It was the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, defending the Women's Tag Team Championships against Candice LeRae and Australia's own Indy Hartwell. Excuse me, my cough has gotten worse, especially since, like, yeah. So I'm going to be coughing a lot here. But as far as the match has gone, I thought it was good and solid. I thought it was really well. Kairi Sane got her soul booted out of her by Indy. Indy kicked her right in the chest really hard. So Hartwell and Sane started things off. Hartwell did a drop down, did a leapfrog up over, and then a big boot to the chest. Kairi went down. Candice LeRae then got tagged in and took control and cut off, but was cut off by Kairi. She then tagged in Asuka. Candice connected with an elbow. The Boogie Warriors worked over Candice, who tried to tag Hartwell, but Asuka kept taking her down and then eventually gave her a German suplex. So he did this spot where Asuka had her by the ankle, almost in an ankle lock, but not fully. And Candice would be like this close. Oh, I can't quite get the tag. And they're building it, and they're building it. And this crowd wants Indy in there, and they want Indy in there, and they want Indy in there, but she can't get tagged in. She can't get tagged in. Candice can't get close enough, and they're building it, and they're building it. You know what they're doing? They're working to that moment when it's going to get the biggest pop possible. And finally, she does get tagged in. So Indy gets tagged in, and she rolls up Asuka for a near fall. Doesn't really do too much after that, and Candice tags back in, but Kairi cut her off and was sent over the top rope. Asuka then tagged Kairi in, allowing her to hit an assisted insane elbow for the win. And there we go. Kabuki Warriors retain the titles. Good, solid match. Didn't hate it. You know, sometimes you see these pre-show matches, you're like, oh, it's a nothing match. It doesn't matter, even though there's a title on the line. Oh, this one was fun. This one was cool. And Indy Hartwell got a good moment before and after the match, because the Kabuki Warriors left and just left her and Candice in the ring to get that moment. She got great pop when she came out. So kudos to WWE for knowing what they're doing. Feature your local talent. When they kick into the main card, they send it to Corey Graves and Michael Cole, and they tell us, hey, show's starting with the Women's Chamber. This is really good. I thought this was a really fun match. These women all worked so hard. And Tiffany Stratton is not just going to be a star. She's going to be a mega star. She's going to be massive, at least in Australia. Australia loves some Tiffy time. They love them some Tiffy time to the point where they were chanting Tiffy time during the men's chamber match. I'm like, oh my goodness. So Becky Lynch, who's never been in a chamber match, she was like, I'm going to start this thing. She starts it off with Naomi. Exchanged some near falls early on, and Naomi connects with a boot in the corner. Naomi went to the top rope and hopped over Lynch, but Lynch connected with a drop kick. Outside the ring, Lynch kicked Naomi into one of the pods. She attempted to throw Naomi into the steel mesh, but Naomi latched onto the mesh, grabbed Lynch with her legs, and repeatedly rammed her head first into it, causing her to fall to the ground. Naomi then dropped to the ground, hitting the splits from up high. She literally climbed up, let go, and right down with a split-legged leg drop. In next was Tiffany Stratton to a huge pop from the crowd. They wanted them some Tiffy time. I'm going to say it right now. This crowd in Australia loved Tiffany Stratton. Stratton was in next. She attempted to cover both women. Only got a near fall off of it. Lynch attempted to cut off Stratton, but Stratton countered with a spine buster. Lynch attempted to disarm her, but Naomi came in with a double crossbody. Lynch then hit an exploder on Naomi. Stratton managed to lift both women off of her shoulders briefly, but Naomi escaped, only for Stratton to drop her. Stratton then attempted the prettiest moonsault ever, the PME, but Lynch cut her off. In next, Liv Morgan. Morgan enters and immediately goes right after Stratton. Remember, they had a match on SmackDown. They were throwing shots, and she then eventually just kept throwing Tiffany into the pod really hard. Like, Tiffany Stratton got initiated to the main roster tonight. Tiffany Stratton took a beating, but she took that beating very well. So eventually, they're throwing each other into the pod, Tiffany taking the worst of it. Morgan then went back in the ring after Naomi and Lynch. She hit a code breaker and then went for the pin, but only got a near fall. Lynch then took Stratton and hit an exploder into the cage, which almost looked like Tiffany landed awkward on her head, but she seems fine. She did all her other stuff. She's fine. She's been tweeting since the match and everything. Anyways, Morgan then grabbed Stratton and hit a stomp, but Naomi then hit a blockbuster on. So here's the interesting one. Liv stomps down Tiffany. She's down and out. She then kind of like bounces up the ropes. I don't know what Liv was trying to do. She like bounces up the ropes. Naomi then comes off the top of a pod. Michael Cole calls it a sunset flip powerbomb. Blockbuster. She did the front flip, grabbed the headlock. It's a blockbuster, not a sunset flip powerbomb. Anyways, it's the blockbuster. Liv is down immediately. So, where was I? Yeah, immediately. Stratton then rolls up Naomi because, she took some of that as well. 1, 2, 3 pins her. Naomi, the first eliminated by Tiffany Stratton. They're talking about how Tiffany stole that. It's like, no. Tiffany just jumped in and pinned somebody that was sort of hurt enough to get pinned. So as we move forward, Raquel Rodriguez, not Gonzalez like Triple H called her, came in next and went straight after Stratton. She was throwing some of the girls around. She threw Lynch into the mesh. She then grabbed Stratton. Looked like Stratton was going to maybe try to go for like a Hurricane Rana, but she just overpowered her and just swung her right into the steel mesh on the side, the chain link, I guess you would say. Rodriguez and Morgan, former tag team partners, battled it out in the ring, but Lynch clipped Rodriguez's leg as everybody attempted to pile onto Rodriguez. They all, like 4, tried to pin her at once. No avail. She kicked out. Bianca was the final entrant in the match, and she would go straight after Stratton. He threw her into her pod as she entered the ring. Belair then hit a delayed vertical suplex on Becky and took out Stratton with a spine buster. Belair and Rodriguez then went face to face. They ended up on the outside of the ring where Rodriguez went for a vertical suplex, but Belair springboarded off and hit a wicked looking DDT. Stratton then lifted Rodriguez on the turnbuckle. and she like laid her across the top turnbuckle. Liv was then on top of a cell, one of the pods. She jumps off with a seated senton, just goes straight through Rodriguez. Rodriguez crashes down. All of a sudden, Tiffany and Becky are fighting, brawling it out on top of the cell. Tiffany throws Becky off. Becky crumbles down with, I think it was Raquel. No, not Raquel. It was, well, I think Raquel eventually got out there, but it was Bianca and then Liv. And then I think Raquel got out there. Then eventually Tiffany goes, "It's Tiffy time." And then she does a swanton bomb off of one of the pods onto the pile of women below. This was great. Wiped out everybody. However, not too long after, Stratton was pinned by Morgan after a springboard downward spiral. But Tiffany Stratton looked great in this match. She's crawling out of the door, and the crowd chanting, "Bullshit, bullshit." So yeah, they did not want Tiffany to get eliminated. They wanted Tiffany to win. Lynch then hit the ring and hit a disarmor and then transitioned into an armbar. Rodriguez lifted up Lynch and went for the Tejano bomb, then managed to hit it on multiple women. Belair, however, hit the KOD on Rodriguez and eliminated her. We're down to our final three: Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan. They battle it out in the ring. Belair press slammed Lynch onto Morgan and then hit a springboard standing moonsault. Belair then went for a KOD on Lynch. Lynch escaped, but she was shoved into the cage. Belair threw Morgan into the cage and she slammed Lynch's face into the mesh. Morgan then used her legs to thrust Belair into a nearby pod. Lynch laid out both of her opponents with double DDTs. Belair then met Lynch on the top rope. Morgan hit a sunset flip bomb. That's a sunset flip bomb on Bianca. She then hit a superplex on Lynch. Belair then attempted a 450, but Lynch got her knees up. Belair then attempted a KOD, but Morgan hit a jawbreaker. Belair recovered and attempted to hit Lynch with a KOD, but Lynch managed to get to her feet. Morgan then suddenly rolled up Belair and pinned her to eliminate her. She then stands up, turns around, what-ta-ta, manhandle, slam, 1, 2, 3, you're done. Literally not even 20 seconds after she pins Bianca, Becky pins her, boom, bang, bing-a-banga, you're done, you're out. Becky is moving on to WrestleMania. Becky Lynch is the winner, winning the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Super fun, super great, loved the match. I thought this was so good. I liked it a lot. As we move forward, we got the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships on the line as the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, with Dominic Mysterio, defended against New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And they got graphics and everything on the screen that says New Catch Republic. I didn't notice those. What's what I'm looking for? I didn't notice those on SmackDown, but I didn't even pay attention and see their entrance on SmackDown. So I don't know if they had those graphics already on SmackDown Friday, but last night, yeah. Regardless, great match. I thought it was really fun, really good. And all four men worked. Oh my God. These four men were like perfect opponents for each other. And Dominic is a super nuclear heel that's going to get super nuclear heat anywhere he goes. And this was freaking amazing. So Mike Rome's doing the announcing. No Samantha Irving there. And he introduces New Catch Republic. And then Dom takes the mic from him to introduce Judgment Day. And 52,000 people are booing the crap out of him. To where you would have thought they turned his mic off. They're booing so loud. You can't hear every 3 words you maybe hear. And yeah, this is great. They're booing the crap out of him. And eventually he gets taken out. New Catch Republic's like, yeah, we're done with this. We don't need you. And they both go after Dom. Dom falls out of the ring and the match starts. So, where was I? So, Bate and Dunne started things off as, Bate and Balor started things off as Bate and Dunne worked on Balor for a little while before Balor eventually cut him off, applying a sleeper. Priest then tagged in and started to work over Bate with Mysterio's cheap shots on the outside. Michael Cole goes, hey, what are you doing? Why are you getting involved? You're on this match. And Dom looks at Michael Cole and goes, I thought that was great. He's just like, yeah, I can do what I want. Ref didn't see it, so whatever. Eventually, Bate tags out to Dunn, who clears house, hitting a big moonsault to the outside, wiping out both members of Judgment Day. Bate then tagged back in, but too soon. He was taken down by Priest. Balor tagged in, but Bate hit a huge spinning slam on Balor, then hit an airplane spin on Priest. And Corey Graves goes, I think he's spinning the opposite way because we're on the other side of the equator. We're in Australia. So he's going to spin the opposite way? It's in a toilet, Corey Graves. Dunn was tagged back in as a Bate took out Priest, and Dunn hit the bitter end on Balor, but Mysterio put Balor's foot on the ropes at the last second. Bate then told the ref what happened, and this is kind of weird, but it worked. The ref was like, oh, you're trying to cheat? Oh, you're out of here. And the crowd loved to Dominic getting kicked out, yet I didn't quite fully like it because the ref didn't see it. The ref didn't catch it. So if that's the case, why aren't wrestlers always saying that manager just tried to get involved, kick him out? That manager just tried to do something, kick him out. Why don't they always do that? And like, she's trying to kick Dom out, and Corey Graves goes, she can't do that. He's probably got his manager's license here in Australia. He should be good to stay. So, well, it was good. It was funny. But Dom gets kicked out. He's gone. Back in the ring, Balor had a sling blade on Dunn and connected with a shotgun dropkick. Balor and Dunn then recovered and hit a double Tyler driver. Balor and Dunn recovered, and then Dunn took Balor took a double Tyler driver, but then Priest dragged Balor out of the ring before they can go for the pin. Dunn then went to springboard to the outside, but was taken out by Priest. Bate then took out Priest, but in the ring, Balor countered and hit a DDT on Bate. In the ring, Priest and Balor went for the Razor's Edge coup de grace combo, and Bate escaped and kind of hit like a newer move that I wasn't really sure what it was on Priest. He like threw Priest into Balor. It seemed a little mistimed. I wasn't sure exactly what was going on here. You Guys Republic then hit the double burning hammer on Priest, but he kicked out. The challengers then went for so then they went for another double team move off the top rope. Balor grabbed Priest's foot to prevent him from falling to the ground. Priest then choke slammed both men off the top rope. Balor hit a big old coup de grace on Pete Dunne and pinned him to pick up the victory. So, like, I wouldn't call this like a super great match or anything. I thought it was great. It was super fun. I thought this match was super fun. Not anything we can't see on like a SmackDown. It wasn't like a, oh my God, this is a super pay-per-view match. But it was a great match. And it was very, very fun and very, very enjoyable. So then we get Grayson Waller effect. And this was both good and not good at the same time, because I felt like it may have went a little long and got a little weird. And we've got Seth Velveteen Dream in the ring, because, you know, he's wearing Velveteen Dream's glasses. I don't know what the hell those glasses were. He looked like Velveteen Dream. Anyways, Austin Theory's actually in the ring. And he says, hey, I've been here in Australia, and it's been, I tried Vegemite. It ain't good. So I went and got a bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse. And then said, bud, let me really introduce you to my bud, Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller came out to a huge ovation from the crowd. He then went behind the announce table and had drank his shoey with UFC fighter, I'm going to butcher the last name, Tai Tuivasa, I think is what his name is. I've seen him fight 3 or 4 times, but I always butcher his last name, Tuivasa. I think it's Tuivasa or Tuivasa, something like that. Tuivasa. So Grayson Waller gets in the ring. He's like loving life right now. He's like half into it, half not, because he's just soaking it in. And he's like, he knows what he's supposed to be doing, but he's just like, God damn, what just happened here? And so he eventually just calls out his guest, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Both men took their time getting to the ring, and then eventually stuff started to go down. Seth Rollins made an announcement. He said, hey guys, guess what? I'm just days away from getting cleared. So whoever wins the chamber tonight, careful when it comes to Mania, because you're going to lose. Waller then asked Cody. He was selfish, taking away what The Rock wanted. The Rock versus Roman. He took it from everybody, not just The Rock. But he said he's a fan of The Rock, as everybody has been in one point at one point in time. He said, and if we are here, he'd probably say all the catchphrases. What did he call me? Oh yeah, Crybaby Cody. Cody Crybaby. But then said the people were probably wondering why he stepped out of the WrestleMania match and then back in. Grayson then brought up the people. Cody said that he knew that The Rock is the people's champion. But if he wants to claim that title, maybe he should actually be around the people. Cody then said, you know what, Seth? You can make an announcement. I can make an announcement as well. Make a little challenge. I have till now, from now until WrestleMania, when I got to fight Roman. Hey, Rock, how about I fight you in the meantime, one-on-one? Seth gets up and is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Cody's like, what? I'll do it any place, anytime. And he goes, you know, when it comes to the bloodline, it ain't ever one-on-one. Ever. He said that when The Rock accepts the challenge, Cody's not going to be alone. He'll be there right by his side. There's an interrupted. Started to do all The Rock's catchphrases. If you smell, Rudy Poo, everything. He was also mocking Cody and Rollins in the process. They eventually then beat him up. And I think it was Graves. So Theory's down and he's about to get stomped by Seth. And he's like, Waller's just going to watch and let his friend get stomped? Like, Waller's just up on the ropes going, yeah, I ain't getting involved. You ain't going to do anything to me. They beat up Austin Theory. And there you go. That's how this segment ends. He gets thrown headfirst into like a poster board. Cody Cutter, stomp. There we go. Feels all right. I wonder now, when is this match going to be with Cody and The Rock? Cody put out the challenge, any place, anytime. Is this going to be on a SmackDown? Is this going to be on a Raw? Night 1 of WrestleMania instead of the tag match? Instead of the tag match, is it night 1? Cody Rock, night 2, Cody Roman. And everything's up in the air now. I don't know where they're going. So then we get the men's chamber. And for some reason, these intros felt long. Like it felt like they took forever to get to the ring. By the time LA Knight came out, I go, oh, god damn. Like Drew comes out. Well, actually, Orton comes out third to last. And like doesn't want to get in the pod. And they're like, it looks like Orton wants to start instead of getting in a pod. And then Drew comes out. And I'm like, all right, that's got to be. Nope. Where's LA Knight? Oh my God. There's still one more. Like this took forever to get these intros out. Like, I don't know why. But they like took their time. Remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in YouTube or donating bits over on Twitch. Now, I will say this is a very story-heavy match because I feel like they were building up a couple of Mania things within this match. And it took its time to really peak and get to the action, the good, like, oh my God, OMG moment actions. So LA Knight and Drew McIntyre started things off basically where they ended things on SmackDown. McIntyre hit an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. McIntyre then taunted the crowd and looked like he was going for a GTS, but Knight escaped. McIntyre got out of the ring, only for Knight to launch himself with a giant splash onto McIntyre, sending them both out of the ring. After a botched countdown clock, which was sponsored by Slim Jim, Kevin Owens made his way out. Now, before this, though, I didn't write it in my notes for some reason, but Kevin Owens and LA Knight had a phenomenal, tremendous spot. So, LA Knight takes Drew and he slams him into Logan Paul's pod. And Logan Paul's like, whoa, hey. Then he takes him over. Well, then he follows him over to Drew McIntyre. Or no, he follows Drew McIntyre over to Kevin Owens' pod. He grabs Drew by the head and he smashes him right in the pod, literally right in front of KO. So KO's looking right at them. So what does Kevin do? He starts throwing fists into the pod, into the head of Drew McIntyre. So basically, it is LA Knight's got him by the head, going boom, boom. And every time he's going boom, head first into Owens' pod, he's going boom, right into the pod. I should know, the plexiglass. And Kevin Owens' fist. Boom, boom, Boom. And eventually Owens stops, steps back, and goes, love to see it. So that was great. And we've never seen that spot before. So it's always cool when they figure out new things for matches that we haven't seen before. Small little spots, even if it's something small like this. It was great. So Kevin Owens does eventually come out and go straight after LA Knight. Takes down McIntyre, goes for a frog splash, gets a near fall. Owens then gets on the turnbuckle, looks right at Randy Orton, starts taunting him. He does the Randy Orton pose right in front of Randy. He also goes and taunts Logan Paul as well. Owens and Knight, they went for a double superplex on McIntyre, but he fought him off, sending both men to the floor. McIntyre then hit a wild-looking crossbody, hitting Owens in the head on the way down. Bobby Lashley was then in next, and this is when things really started to ramp up. He goes right after Drew, eventually suplexing him to the outside of the ring. He attempted to put McIntyre in the hurt lock, but sent McIntyre over the top rope instead. McIntyre then hit a headbutt and went to the top rope. Lashley then escaped and laid McIntyre out with a chokeslam. Got a near fall off of it. Orton would then enter in the match, or into the match, and he immediately went after Kevin Owens, who had just recently taunted him. He got hit with a draping DDT, not in the ring, but on the chamber floor. And then Knight hit his own DDT on McIntyre. When it was time for Logan Paul to come out, Owens was right there, ready and able, willing to go. Like he wanted Logan Paul. Owens threw Paul into a pod and crotched him against the pod for good measure. Paul eventually mounted a comeback, but Owens fought him off. Owens then gets up, turns around. Bobby's just there, and he goes, oh, shit. Bobby grabs him, throws him into one pod, looks over. There's Logan Paul up against the other pod, and Bobby Lashley runs and spears Logan Paul right through the pod. Spears him right through the pod. So they're down. Lashley then starts selling the injured elbow from SmackDown. This allows McIntyre to hit a Claymore. Lashley recovers in the ring, but he was fighting Knight. Took another Claymore and was the first one eliminated from the men's chamber. Bobby Lashley was the first one eliminated. Knight and McIntyre went at it for a little bit as Knight hit a superplex on McIntyre. Orton then went for an RKO, but Knight connected with a BFT on both men. As Lashley was slowly, and I mean slowly, being helped out of this chamber, all of a sudden, AJ Styles would run in with a chair and attack LA Knight. And you would think Kevin Dunn was back working as the director, because the way this was shot, every time AJ went up with the chair, the camera went up with the chair. Every time AJ went down with the chair, down with the chair. And every time there was a shot, camera cut, camera cut, camera cut, camera cut, camera cut, up, down, camera cut, camera cut. Oh my God. You would have thought Kevin, I just gave myself a, ooh, buddy. You would have thought Kevin Dunn was back though. So AJ Styles basically takes out LA Knight. I just lost my spot in my notes. Where was I? I literally just lost my spot. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. So he's repeatedly hitting him with a chair. AJ to Knight, that is. And then he eventually gives him a Styles clash on the chair. McIntyre pins Knight. Owens and Paul then continue to fight until Owens laid out Paul again and hit a cannonball on both Orton and McIntyre. Owens then hit a swanton on Orton for a near fall. Owens then went for another on McIntyre, but McIntyre got his knees up. McIntyre then went for a Claymore, but Owens countered into a pop-up powerbomb. He then hit a stunner on Paul, but ended up taking an RKO and being eliminated. So I really thought they were going to go the route of Logan Paul, Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. You have Kevin Owens pin Logan Paul in the chamber, and you go from there. That's not what they did at all. That's not what they did at all. Orton ended up eliminating Kevin Owens. Orton, for a lot of this match, was selling his back. And Michael Cole was trying to play it up like legit his back was hurting, but then Corey Graves was kind of trying to downplay it, so kind of weird. Paul recovers eventually as he and Orton started to fight. McIntyre interrupted as he and Orton fought off Paul. No, I wrote that really weird. McIntyre interrupted, and as he and Orton fought, Paul went to the top of a pod, launching off and hitting McIntyre with the crossbody. More like a clothesline. Like a clothesline crossbody thing. I think it was more of a flying clothesline. So Paul then took the brass knucks out, and as he teased using them, boom, RKO out of nowhere. Orton then pins him. He's out of the match. For now. McIntyre and Orton then went as the final two. Orton was selling the back again. Orton then hit a draping DDT and very gingerly prepared for an RKO, but McIntyre got up and gave Orton a spine buster. McIntyre prepared for a Claymore, but paused as Orton struggled to get up. I mean, if the guy ain't up, you can't hit him with a Claymore. McIntyre then smirked as he watched Orton struggle. Orton eventually jumped up and dropped McIntyre with an RKO. However, before he can go for the pin, Logan Paul would run back in and clock Randy in the face with brass knucks. Randy was knocked out. McIntyre then slowly crawls over to cover him. 1, 2, 3. McIntyre wins. McIntyre is moving on to WrestleMania to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I believe that this may have just set up Logan Paul versus Randy Orton for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. Now, I've seen some people online going, make it a ladder match. Add like 4 or 5 people, make it a ladder match. You could, but doing the brass knuck shot, like knucks to the face, that's going to call for a singles match. That's going to call for Randy wanting to just go straight after Paul, not want anybody else to get in the way. So, good chamber match here. I really enjoyed it. And I think it set up a couple of things. AJ and Knight at WrestleMania. Orton and Logan Paul for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. And then Drew is challenging Seth officially. Triple H then comes out, and he's just like, I want to thank everybody that came out here tonight. Everybody that's made us feel like we're home. Made us feel like we're so welcomed here. I also want to thank the 52,590 people here inside Opus Stadium. They had over 52,000 allegedly. We'll say allegedly. WWE likes to fudge the numbers. So maybe it was more like 45, the real number. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the real number or not. It's WWE, so you would think maybe not. Then move on to our main event. And like Michael Cole and Corey Graves both said, I would probably agree. May have been, even with Nia getting like, almost looked like super exhausted from, you know, the heat. One of the, if not the best Nia Jax matches we've ever seen. I was a little disappointed that Rhea didn't get no big special entrance. Nothing out of the ordinary. She just walked down, high-fived the crowd. Like the only difference was she played it up more as a babyface. But she didn't get anything special. Not even like special gear to wear to the ring. Nothing. It was just a normal. Like she had a vest on that had the Australian flag drawn on the back of it, but she always wears a vest. So it's like, man, they didn't do her anything special at all. She got some pyro, but Drew also got pyro when he came out for the chamber. If I'm thinking correctly, they're the only two that got pyro. Now, I didn't pay attention during Cody's entrance because Cody was just taking forever and Seth took forever. So I don't know if he had pyro. Cody's always got pyro. But I know Drew had a lot of pyro, and then Rhea had a little bit of pyro. Not as much as Drew. Drew got a lot of pyro. I'll say that. But they saved all of Rhea's pyro for after the show. But yeah, I felt like this was a like early 90s, late 80s style big heel, smaller babyface kind of match where the bigger heel is going to dominate over the babyface, and then the babyface is going to get that comeback, and then the heel is going to take the babyface down again, and then the heel's eventually going to prevail and pick up the win at the end. And that's what this was. It was like King Kong Bundy and Hogan, like Earthquake and Hogan, and it was great. I loved it. Triple H attempted to take Jax down early, including trying to go for Hurricane Rana. Didn't look all that good, but maybe that was because of the way Jax took it. He then kind of just threw Ripley down and then splashed her in the corner. Ripley attempted to fight back, but Jax again got the upper hand with the headbutt. Jax stomped Ripley and then applied a stretch muffler, which transitioned into a half crab. Jax put Ripley on her shoulders, but Ripley countered with a guillotine. Ripley went for a springboard Hurricane Rana, but Jax dropped her with a double powerbomb, followed by a leg drop for a near fall. Jax then went for an Annihilator, but Ripley fought back and put Jax down with a missile drop kick. Jax then fired back and hit a Samoan drop, though. Ripley then hit another drop kick as she went to the top rope. Jax cut her off and hit a Samoan drop off the middle rope this time, but Ripley kicked out. Jax then went for another Annihilator, but Ripley put Jax on her shoulders and posted her and then hit a frog splash for a near fall. Ripley attempted the Riptide, but Jax powered out and Ripley fell to the floor. Dropping Jax on the apron, Ripley went for a powerbomb on Jax on the table, but Jax countered and hit a Samoan drop on Ripley through the announce table that literally exploded. It exploded, this damn announce table. She then drove her into it with an elbow. Jackson hit an Annihilator, but Ripley kicked out. Jackson went for the Annihilator again, and Ripley shoved her off the apron. Jackson fought back, and Ripley ended up hitting a superplex as Jax climbed to the top from the top turnbuckle. Ripley then hit the Riptide and pinned her to pick up the victory. She barely got Nia up for that Riptide, but she got her up enough, slammed her down, pinned her, bing, bang, boom. So they went and celebrated with her family. Cole says there's something like she had 13 family members in the front row. So that's really, really cool. But yeah, fireworks aplenty. And there we go. Becky Lynch posted a video on social media watching from like way far back. She goes, I'm paraphrasing. She said something like, Rhea got your pyro now. They're using it all on you here because they're going to be using it all on me come WrestleMania. Really cool. Really awesome. Love the main event. Love the 2 chamber matches. I thought the men's tag title match was really, really good. Women's tag title match was also good. I thought this was a solid show. Now, here's my one gripe. And this isn't with WWE. This is with goddamn people on Twitter. People on Twitter complaining about the show and then going, well, I haven't seen this match yet. Oh, I haven't watched that yet. Oh, I've only seen this. How are you going to complain about a show that you haven't even watched fully yet? How are you going to complain about a show, call it mid-level, or call it just whatever because it was an international show? Well, but I haven't seen the women's chamber match yet. So you didn't see the fucking 50 pops for Tiffany Stratton. You didn't see the crowd going wild for Tiffy time. So it's like, come on, people. Do better. Especially since some of these people do what I do. Report on and talk about wrestling. But then you're going to be out here going, oh, this show was meh. This show was whatever. This show was B-level. Or that's all at all. I saw like 5 or 6 people say stuff like that. And it's like, and then like half of them like, but I didn't see this yet. Or I haven't finished the show yet. Or I only seen the main event. Come on. Like I saw one guy was like, oh yeah, they didn't really try too hard with this show. They knew that a lot of people weren't going to be watching live and this and that. But I only started it an hour ago. And this was when we were in the main event. So you started with what? The men's chamber? Like, come on, people. Do better. Don't be crapping on a show you haven't even watched. That's like me playing the Uncharted games and then going, I ain't going to watch that shitty movie because it's not following the games correctly. Well, if you don't really... I like the Uncharted movie. I'm just going to say that right now. But going into it, you may go, oh, I know what the story is. Oh, I see how the characters are. That's not following the game correctly, so the movie's going to suck. Then you go and watch that movie and go, oh, so they took the premise of the movie and the characters of the movie, but changed it, of the game, but changed them up a little and made a pretty dang good movie. So don't just be like, it's an international show in the middle of the night here in the U.S. and Canada, so it's not going to be any good anyways. Like, come on. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. But regardless, I thought it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. Let's get this Twitch poll up. What do you think of Elimination Chamber? Also, let's pull up. You guys can call in as well. The number is right here. If you do want to give us a call, talk about the show. Let me pull that up so I can accept the calls. All right, what do you think of Elimination Chamber? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. If you guys want to call in, you can do so. 510-906-1341. And that number is right there on the screen. 510-906-1341. May get calls. We may not. I don't know. We'll see. But with that, let's go check the polls while we do wait. Ooh, did I do a Threads poll? Did I do a Threads poll? I thought I did a Threads poll. I don't think I did a Threads poll. Let's throw up a Threads poll really fast. See if we get anything on Threads. What did you think of Elimination Chamber? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. Let's go check the other polls. We got the Twitter poll. Twitter. Person here says, well, this person, but the 76% liked the show, 20% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Looking over the YouTube community poll, pretty similar numbers. 76% liked the show, 19% thought it was just all right, and only 5% didn't like it. So in the comments here, it was a good, entertaining show that filled the holes for matches at WrestleMania. Exactly. That's exactly what this show is supposed to be. Letting us know potential matchups for Mania and directions that they're looking to go. Chris says, Mommy was a beast. She definitely one of the faces of this era. Oh, yeah. She's probably the most popular female wrestler in the world right now. She's not quite Becky Lynch 2019, but she's up there. Chris says, I liked it. Chris says, it was excellent. Chris says, men's and women's chambers matches were already set on who's winning before, so that was whack. What? The men's and women's elimination chamber matches were already set on who's winning. Every match was already set on who's winning. It's scripted. What kind of comment is that? I'm gonna read it verbatim again. Men's and women's elimination chamber matches were already set on who's winning before, so that was whack. You thought they were going to go in there and let these guys have a legit fight and then beat each... What? Huh? That the UFC? Everything's already set beforehand. Oh my God, some people are stupid. First says, I thought it was good. First says it was good. First didn't really like it. 5 out of 10. And this person says it was too predictable. I mean, I can see that. It was very predictable. We do have a super chat here. I do want to say thank you to RTS with Oscar. He says, even though Tiffany is supposed to be heel, do you think that they transition her to babyface since the fans are getting her over just like they did with LA Knight? No. And here's the difference. Because the fans liking Tiffany can play that up as, yep, see, they love me. I'm the popular one. Like, she can further go into that, like, snooty rich girl gimmick she has and be like, yep, I'm the popular girl. I'm the one they all love, you know, and still play it up as a heel. Take the love and adoration of the fans and twist it going, they love me and not you. Instead of just being, the fans are giving me all this. I love you guys too. You can still shit on the fans. They're going to boo or they're going to cheer. So I think they can do that. I think that's a great way to do it. You don't have to change your character. You don't have to change her at all. You just play it up as, like, you know, the snobby like bitchy, I guess you could say, kid at school, the head cheerleader. Not all head cheerleaders were bitchy, but like, snooty rich kids that think they're better than everybody and that everybody should like them. Everybody should be cheering for them. Everybody should be loving them. Looking at the Twitch poll, so far everybody that voted, it did like the show. And then see if we got anything on threads. We got some votes here on threads. 67% thought it was just all right, and 33% liked it. So I guess we're not going to get any calls, which is fine. I mean, it's early in the morning and stuff. So I wasn't expecting it, but it's what we're doing for the pay-per-view reviews now. So go from there. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, guys, we'll be back on Monday. Talk about everything coming out of this show, any news we learn over this weekend. Also, Finn Balor, I forgot to mention this. After the match, Finn Balor got down on his knees, grabbed his thumb, and was like messing with it like it was bugging him. And he had an area right here on his thumb that looked very red, almost like skin got peeled or something happened to it. And you could see, I don't know if maybe he was just selling the finger break spot from Pete Dunne, but Balor looked almost like he was not feeling too hot. I wouldn't say he's injured, maybe dislocated his thumb. Hopefully it's not broken or anything, but there was just something there that didn't look quite, I'm selling it. Now, could be, and he's just that good at it, but I'm going to keep an ear out for Finn mess up his thumb in the tag title match. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.